begin by showing gratitude to the American Conference for this platform with CBS here in Boca Raton, FAU's campus on a beautiful Saturday. In March, it's a great opportunity for us, our university, our athletic department, to be put on this type of stage, this platform, and fortunately for us, we have really, really good players who play the game at a high level, and it was a great basketball game between two really, really good teams with great players.
On that note, how do you balance, like, are the players hyper aware that they're on CBS national TV? I mean, they got used to it last year, obviously, in the tournament, but when it's that type of atmosphere out there and that difficult opponent on CBS, is that something to get used to or to temper them about?
Do you prefer coach speak or reality?
Reality. I like reality.
I'll flip and ask a question. Do you think NBA players are excited to play on Christmas with the entire country watching on the big stage? Our guys do too, because they're big-time players who love to perform with this spotlight.
So how impressed were you about how they did perform out there in the spotlight?
There were several things that concerned us as a staff going into it. How our guys would perform on CBS for a home game against the Memphis Tigers wasn't one of them. It was more how are we going to defend, how are we going to match up with Tomlin and Quinterly and Jones and these guys, and how are we going to get back in transition defense.
Hey, Coach, quick 2 for 1. One, do you have any plans to visit Vlad's family in Russia at any point after he's done here? But more serious question, how do you truly balance being a head coach and a father and a husband? Just some insight for some young men coming up to fill your same shoes.
That's a very, very tough question. Hopefully I have a chance to meet Vlad's family because they did an unbelievable job of raising a special human being that happens to be a great basketball player. As far as balance, work-life balance is never easy. I read this a few years ago and stuck. I think if you're really driven and motivated to be great at both, when you're at work, you feel like you probably should be at home more. When you're at home, you feel like you should be working. So it's a daily battle. Fortunately for me, I have 3 sons and a wife that are involved in every facet of my life, my career. So we try to share it all and do it all together. But it's tough because you're trying to be the best leader, the best mentor for your young guys, but also showing them how to be at least a good husband and a great father.
Thank you.
Coach, you guys haven't lost a game in March since the 2022 season. Does the team just have an ability to flip that switch?
I hope so. And obviously, you never want to flip a switch. You just, as a coach, you hope you're building and building and building instead of adding and then taking a step back and then building up and taking a step back. So we do feel like we went through some different obstacles, this year. We like where we are right now. We feel good about the pulse of our locker room, the synergy of our team. So. And obviously going on the road in environments like ours today on the road because of last year's success, it's been challenging. It's been difficult, and now we're not going to have to see that anymore. And so we're going on neutral sites, and there's no reason why we wouldn't be extremely confident that we're going to play well on whatever neutral site we have after the Dickies Arena floor.
It's a loaded question, but now that the regular season is over, how would you describe the regular season for FAU?
Well, we break it up in 3 seasons, and we thought after the first season, we thought we A-, B+. We were in position for an at-large, and as a non-Power 5, that's extremely difficult. We performed well enough to be competing to go to the NCAA tournament without having to win 3 games in 2 days. The conference season didn't go as we expected or as we planned, but we played well, and once again, we put ourselves in position for the ultimate goal. For everyone else other than coaches, and that's the NCAA tournament. Now, season 3, are we healthy? Are we in good spirits? Are we excited for this long process that hopefully is in front of us? And like I said, we like where we are right now.
Coach, you see the seniors with Weatherspoon, Green, and Gaffney being honored today, seeing them develop into the players they are today and making the contributions they have made throughout the past couple of years. What kind of emotions do you feel seeing them be honored in the way that they were by the fans?
Well, senior day is a lot different now than it's been throughout the past 100 years. I don't even know what senior day is going to look like going forward. And I'm not complaining, I'm just making a statement. And those guys had an opportunity to finish their eligibility at a place that they left a mark, a legacy, and not just because of the Final Four run or because of the conference championships, but because of the way they work, the way they interact with each other, the way they interact with us as a staff, the way they are normal students, and they embrace just being some normal dudes who are doing something special together, and that's not always the case. And just proud of those three. I could go on. We could have this again tomorrow, and I could go on for 4 hours talking about those three guys because they've worked, they've shared, they've sacrificed, and they've won at an extremely high level. Our success wouldn't look anything like this if those three didn't make the decision to come here and stay together and do it the way they did it.
Cameron.
Coach, the AAC's proved to be a ultra competitive conference. Even the top teams can lose every night. So, how important is it to lock up that first round bye and get that bye in the conference tournament?
It's extremely important just because the numbers say it's really difficult to win 5-5, 4-4, and 3-3 is much more manageable. And most of the teams that win the conference tournament play 3 games in 3 days. Now they also are the higher seeds, but playing less games and less days is beneficial if you're trying to compete for a championship and get the automatic bid. And I don't know what seeding looks like or anything like that, but I know that the higher the seed, the better. Maybe the location's a little bit better. I don't consume myself with any of that, but I guess. Yeah, it's proved to be a very, very difficult conference to compete in night in, night out.
JJ.
Coach, last week you said that if you win the next 2, you felt like you're in a good position for an at-large. Do you still feel that way, or is that something you're not thinking about?
Yeah, that was probably an uninformed answer on my part. I just wanted to win the next 2 games, and I know I'd feel better. So yes, I felt much better than if we lost 1 or 2 of the last games. And I don't know if that's the tournament ramifications or just because we won and played well and really I thought we got great contributions from a lot of guys. So it's just more the way we played the game versus where we are and that type of stuff. Obviously you hear it, it's impossible not to, but I don't process it after I hear it.
3 more questions, Jim.
Now I'm going to do 2 quick ones. First of all, when you called for that 2-for-1 at the end of the first half, did you have any idea you'd be letting him match?
Pardon, I'd be letting him what?
You'd be letting him match because he took off after he hit that shot.
Absolutely, I knew that. No, we felt like we could get a free possession, and we had several fouls to give. So there's a lot more decisions than the naked eye shows, but we had several fouls to give. So we scored the basket, call timeout. I think there's 36.7 seconds left. So now, if we get in danger zone, do we foul and use one of our fouls to give? Or do we play it out and try to get another freebie? And fortunately, I thought they shot. The rebound came long. It was a clean rebound by Elijah. He pitched it up to BJ, and we fell into 2 really good shots. I thought Vlad set a great screen on the first one, and then that was a great individual play by both Elijah and BJ in that situation.
And also, real quick, after the previous Memphis game, you talked about it. One of the things you were disappointed with was that how you responded when things weren't going your way. Today early on, there were several bad rebounds that they got in, and this time you guys seemed like you played right through them. A variety of people had a hand in picking each other up. Is that how you saw it too?
Absolutely, and even I saw there were numerous examples of when a guy would be frustrated with this or that. Someone brought him back to recenter them by saying that word. And so we've stressed it. We've talked about it all week. So our response to any adversity, our response to success has to be almost treated the same, with a consistent approach and realize that these games are long, and if we let one mistake compound and become 2 or 3, then we're setting ourselves up.
Coach, obviously last Saturday you knew you had your hands full with North Texas and Memphis, and you had a couple tough games. So now do you feel a lot better that not only did you have those tough games and won them, but this is a good boost here going into the conference tournament? You haven't had a lot of easy games, so therefore your tournament tested at week in and week out in a conference of this magnitude.
Yeah, we feel better about the way we're playing after these 2 games. A lot goes into winning and losing, the randomness of it all. But we feel better about our direction than we did a week ago. And it's not that we didn't feel great about it a week ago, but we do feel better. We're having spirited practices. Guys look like they're still enjoying being here after. I mean, these guys have worked consistently since almost the day we got back. And you always worry about burnout. Our season's so long. You worry about all those things, and you hope the postseason ignites you. There's something there to ignite a fire. Fortunately for us, I think our fire was ignited in the process of getting better and knowing we needed to really come together because it's been, I think, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I think it's been even more difficult than we had assumed, and we assumed it was going to be extremely difficult. So, but with that, it's become, it's been a blast. It's been more fun because it's been more difficult.
Robbie.
Coach Vlad with another big game tonight, but Brian Greenlee had 21 tonight. Jalen Gaffney had the big game against Tulane. Nick Boyd against UNT. How important is it for some of the other guys outside of Elijah, John L, and Vlad to contribute offensively to provide a balanced offense for you guys?
Well, Nelly's he's garnering a lot of attention. Teams build walls. They run a second guy at him. If you see him, if he turns his back to the basket, they run another defender at him. They put two guys on his ball screens, and I thought he did a great job of accepting that they're going to put two on me. I'm not going to force the issue. I'm going to move it, and we got great looks because of his unselfishness. And Elijah Martin, same thing. It's a lot more difficult to go try to get it on your own than to get it in the flow. And when everyone's making shots, it just puts the opposition's defense in a quandary of, do I stay here, do I move? And anytime you have a defense thinking, then you're in good position. So it's obvious that we need those guys to play the way they did tonight, at least semi-frequently, because you're not going to play great every night, but we have enough pieces and weapons that we should see that more frequently going forward.
Thank you.
Last question.
I got two quick ones, Dusty. The first one, seemed like Memphis came out of the gate and kind of seized the momentum early, first 9-10 minutes. What changed after that 11-minute mark where, you guys kind of evaporated their 6-point lead and took control?
Well, as a staff, we look at it a little bit differently. We thought we had 3 or 4 great possessions, that the result wasn't what we wanted. So they shot a 3, we had a great contest, hit the top of the backboard, dropped in. There were 2 other instances where we knocked the ball loose, and because they're really, really good and athletic and skilled, they were able to knock it loose and still get it in. They made a couple of very difficult 17-foot jump shots. And so our message was, we're down a couple points or 2 possessions, and we're playing really, really well. If we can clean up these 50-50 basketballs, if we can come up with a couple more to be quicker to the ball than they are, then we'll be fine. And I thought Memphis played really well tonight. They made shots, they made plays. They are a tough cover across the board. And I have a feeling they're going to be playing for a lot longer.
And second quick thing, David Jones, obviously he still had 16 points, but which was much less efficient today. What did you guys do on him? What was the game plan there to kind of knock him off balance?
Oh, we had great awareness. We showed he's so proficient at drawing fouls. I thought we showed our hands. I thought we got underneath him a little bit, was able to beat him to the spots. He's just a tough matchup because he can score in so many different ways, but he's such a load because he scores on the offensive glass and he scores in transition, and then in half court he can make the 3, can drive it, and get to the line. So I thought we kept him off the glass better than we did in game 1, and we didn't give him any easy ones in transition that I can recall.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Will be in here.
Friday night.